Hi, my name is Karen Leahy, and this is Follow the Reader, a mini video series for the South Kingston Public Library in which I interview a member of our community to share thoughts on books, reading, and the library. Today, I'm joined by Hilary Carlson. Good morning, Hilary. How are you?
Good morning, Karen. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
And I understand you're part of our library board of trustees?
I am for
How
over
long
3 years.
3 years. Okay, that's great. What do you like about doing that?
I like the people, of course, and I like kind of seeing how everything works. Prior to being on the board, I had no idea of all the policies and all the decisions that need to be made. Just a library to me has always been there, and I just walk in, get my books, and walk out, and never give it a second thought. And now I have a much greater appreciation for what actually has to happen in order to make books available and other media for the community. It's great.
Great, thank you. So let's jump right into our interview questions. What are you reading right now?
Right now I'm reading a book called The Five Wounds by, I had to write her name down, Kirstin Valdez Quade. And I hadn't heard anything about it. I just happened to see it. I was on Overdrive looking for a book that was available that I wouldn't have to wait for, and it was available on an ebook. So I got it, and I've only just started it, but so far so good. And it's a debut novel for this author, so I think it's going to be interesting.
Well, that's great. And do you have a favorite book that you've read recently?
Well, actually I do, and I have a favorite author, Amor Towles, who wrote A Gentleman in Moscow. Yep. And I just read, well, not too long ago, The Lincoln Highway. And I just love the stories, his writing. That's anything by him I will read. So it's
always nice when you find an author you really click with.
Yes, absolutely.
And I know you mentioned that you do ebooks. Do you also do physical books?
Yes, I do. I prefer physical books, to be honest.
Okay.
But I don't always get to the library, and there's something very nice when you finish a book and you go, oh my gosh, what am I going to read now? And I can just click, click, click and find something.
Yeah.
So I do ebooks. I also do books on tape whenever. I don't drive anywhere. I'm retired, so it's not like I'm commuting to work, but I always have a book on tape in the car, which I love.
And are you a bookmark user? Do you have like a real bookmark? Or are you like a found bookmark user?
That's a good question. I have a ton of real bookmarks, which I use when I can find them.
Yep.
And when I don't find them, I use scraps of paper. As a matter of fact, I used an old photograph of my husband and a good friend from, oh gosh, probably 50 years ago. And for some reason, it was on the counter. I stuck it in the book, and then I left it in the book. And the library staff was very kind to call me and tell me that that I had left that photograph. So I'm glad it didn't get too far out into the community.
Do you have a favorite reading snack or drink?
No, it depends on the time of day. A lot of times I will kind of sit down, or I hate to say this, lay down to read in the afternoon. So no, I don't have a snack then. If I'm reading after 5, my favorite snack would be a glass of wine and a bowl of M&Ms.
Oh, that's a good one.
All the food groups.
Yes. And so do you have a favorite place to read?
Not really. I tell you, in the summer, we have a screened-in porch. So in the spring and summer and fall, my favorite place is to sit out there. And I do sit out there with a glass of wine and read, and it's, well, not in the day, well, late in the day. So it's terrific. But in the winter, a lot of times just curled up in my bed with a quilt over me. And so.
That sounds nice. Windy day like today would be good for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from that. I've got laundry to do, so there's no sitting and reading.
Yes. And what do you love about the library or libraries in general?
Well, I love the library, the Peacedale Library. And one of the reasons, and I'm sure people are sick of hearing me say this, I grew up in South County and then moved away. But I have wonderful memories of going to that library and lived close enough that I could walk often and spent a lot of time there. The librarian at the time was Miss Nye. I think her first name was Virginia.
Okay.
So that was many, many, many years ago. And she was wonderful. And there were programs for kids, reading contests and so forth. And I was very much into that. So I love going either to a library and just seeing what's there. I get more pleasure than going online and saying, okay, what's the next book? But we've moved around a lot. My husband was in the Coast Guard, and every place we've lived, I've always made sure to find the library.
Yeah.
And, I've always had a library card. So, yeah, I think it's, an invaluable resource.
It's great. And you touched on this a little bit, but do you have any specific special memory of libraries you'd like to share with us?
I think when I was younger, because I could go by myself, of going to the library, by myself and getting books and being a part of that. And I can still remember I won the contest. It was, fly to the moon. And Miss Nye had a big poster with planets and the moon, and each participant got a little, because this was before the moonwalk. So they had a little spaceship, and every time you read a book, your spaceship went, further and further. And the first person to make it to the moon won. I'm not sure. I might have won a dictionary. I don't know. And I think I might still have that dictionary.
Well, that's great.
So that was, for some reason, and I don't have a very good memory, but for some reason that has stayed with me. So
that's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's all the questions I have for you today, but would you like to nominate the next reader?
Well, I would. And actually, I belong to a number of book groups. And one of them is a couples book group. And there are people in that group who read voraciously.
Okay.
And I would like to nominate a gentleman who is a retired professor. I would like to nominate Kenneth Smith.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how that would work. I can get you his email.
Yeah, that'd be
privately. And but he lives in Wakefield now, having moved around. He retired from Maryland as a professor in the business department, and then came to URI and taught there, and now is fully retired. And as I said, he reads everything.
Oh, so that's great. Thank you.
I'm going to nominate Kenneth Smith.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's all for today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.